We've all heard of Rosa Parks, but have you heard of Claudette Colvin, who also refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus when she was only 15 years old, 9 months before Rosa Parks did? Claudette had a half day of school that day, so she and her friends got on a bus, a segregated bus, to head home. The bus was rather busy, and all of the white spaces filled up rather quickly. At one stop, a lot of white passengers got on, and the driver told Claudette and 3 others to move back. The other 3 moved, Claudette stayed. She later said, "I felt like Sojourner Truth was pushing down on one shoulder and Harriet Tubman was pushing down on the other, saying, 'Sit down, girl.' I was glued to my seat." The bus driver repeatedly told her to move back, and she repeatedly refused. Claudette was taken off the bus by 2 police officers. She was charged with violating segregation laws, misconduct, and resisting arrest. They drove her to the adult jail. The family's minister drove Claudette's mom to the jail to bail her out. The Black community was, of course, outraged by this treatment of a 15-year-old girl. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to Montgomery to fight her arrest. Leaders of the civil rights movement thought this was the moment and that she might be the face of their movement. They had already been discussing a bus boycott for months, but ultimately Claudette was thought to be too young to be the face of their movement. They were also afraid that because she had a record, it would set back their movement in some way, and when she soon became pregnant, that was that. 9 months later, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, and the bus boycott in Montgomery began. Claudette Colvin continued to be involved. She and 3 other girls who had also been harassed that day on the bus became plaintiffs in Browder v. Gale, a lawsuit that challenged whether or not segregated buses were constitutional. They went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the justices found that Montgomery's bus segregation was in violation of the 14th Amendment, which was a major victory for the civil rights movement. Claudette eventually moved to New York City and worked in a nursing home for 35 years, then retired. She remained an unsung hero until 2009, when a book about her by Philip Hoos won the National Book Award for Young People's Literature. In 2021, Claudette filed a petition to have the record of the incident removed, and a judge in Montgomery granted the request. Her record was finally expunged at age 82. Claudette is now 85 years old and continues to talk about that day on the bus. She says, "I think of it like a puzzle. I'm a piece of the puzzle that was left out in telling the whole Montgomery bus boycott story. Not only myself, but the 4 women that were a part of the success of the movement."